Welcome to Moments with Marianne and happy holidays. Let's celebrate the holidays with Judy Goodman as she shares her insights and thoughts on the holiday season. Now, many of you know Judy Goodman. She's been on the show before. She's revered as one of the most profound gifted teachers and motivational speakers today. Her access to the workings of the physical world and the other side is absolutely amazing. She works and teaches without the limits usually associated with the most talented, a go-to person for many people. Born with a gift of seeing beyond the ordinary view of most people, Judy teaches beyond conventional wisdom. She may be without peer in her experience of the events and workings of the physical and spiritual realms. The extraordinary combination of these gifts is quite unique. And I'm so delighted to introduce Judy Goodman.
Hi, Marianne. An unusual event for us. Today's Christmas Day, a special day for most of us in so many different ways. We celebrate differently, and yet we celebrate. I hope that this message will find each of you enjoying time and events as you're able to. Perhaps you have a meal cooking, or someone has cooked something special, or maybe you've catered and you brought it in, which would be exciting too. Marianne, what are you doing to celebrate? Are you cooking or bringing food in today?
Oh, I'm bringing food in and spending it with people I love.
Well, that's great. I hope that everyone that hears our special broadcast Christmas Day is celebrating in a very special and unique way. This is an unusual one for me, Marianne. You invited me to do a talk on Christmas Day, and of course I'm always happy to have an opportunity to visit with you, and have no idea exactly where our conversation will go today, though I have some things in mind. You know, you and I had an opportunity to speak not so long ago, and some things came up in the discussion that I thought would be good to reflect on a little bit. So I want to just talk about a few of the things that we can count on in our environment and in the space that we are, because most of us are going to be quarantined. Many of us will be isolated to a great extent. But the one thing that is constant around each of us is the air we breathe and exactly the space that we occupy. So hitchhiking on that a little bit, I just want to spend this time reflecting a little bit. I had occasion to receive a sweet card from someone today that talked about isolation and how they had actually been able to use Zoom, and that they had taken language and they were attending meetings, and they would get out and go outdoors for fresh air. But everything they did, everything that I do, everything that you do involves the air and the space that is around you. I made a statement to someone recently, and I'm sure the phrase will change, but I called it air talk. Air talk. Sounds kind of interesting. But in my mind, what I was talking about is that for most of us, as we are reflecting, contemplating, manifesting, meditating, praying, working through the things that we must, there are some of us that have lost loved ones recently. There are so many things that have happened. Jobs have been lost. So we have so many occasions for the utterances, the breath, the speaking of things from our heart. And most of us will recognize this as a form of prayer or meditation. Sometimes it will be frustration. Sometimes it will be our grief and our anguish. And occasionally it will be our joy. But I want to talk about that air time, that air communication. And let me see if I can explain it. And this is a thought process that's been in my head for a while, but I haven't really talked about it. So you're the first. And let's see if I can bring some shape or some reality to it. When you are in your prayer and your meditation, you are being grateful for things, or perhaps you're asking for things. Have you considered that every thought, every action, every deed is part of literally the breath that you take? That's air. And that air time, if you will, is what goes out from your mind, your heart, and your breath into the form of a prayer or an utterance, meditation. Have you considered that air and that communication is also you communicating with your higher self? Now, some of us will understand that, some of us may not, but the higher self, it's your consciousness, that part of you that is part of you and yet a little bit separate. The higher self is that level of knowledge and understanding that does not get caught up in the day-to-day. So therefore, the thinking, the reasoning is very clear, it's precise, no judgment, no variations. It's just fact. It's just there. So when we are meditating, in many ways, we are communicating with that part of ourself, the higher self, that is aware of everything that we want or need, things that we require that perhaps sometimes we don't even know how to say it. So thinking in terms of literally the breath or the air or the space that surrounds you, since for most of us, that's a lot more limited right now. We are isolated unless you are in a pod of isolation that has included family, perhaps hopefully a pet or someone. So whatever that environment is, it's small and it's a lot more limited than it's ever been. But I just want to share with you the power, literally, of the air that you breathe and the thoughts that you have. And especially on Christmas Day, we have so many reminders of reasons that we want to have that breath of prayer, of gratitude, or perhaps we're lonely or missing someone. So the air, the space around us may be more critical for many of us today than it's ever been. So as you are thinking about the heart, what your heart, it hurts perhaps, or it's longing for something or someone. Perhaps there are jobs that have been lost. There are loved ones that have been lost. There are so many feelings of loss that we have. Surrender that into your air, into that space. Release it from yourself. Allow it to move into the air so that you no longer have to carry the burden of that. But remember that when you think things, when you utter these things, thought and prayer, they are going out to the God of your understanding, to the universe, and your higher self, your higher consciousness is also part of that. So don't be afraid to take those moments and go through the things that are important to you. I like to help people understand that it's one thing when we think about it, that's in our head, that's the air, the energy of the head. It begins there, and then bring it down into the heart. The heart is the part that feels it. It's one thing if you're saying a prayer and you're thinking it, then the meaning of that or the feeling of that is not that strong. Not until you drop it down into the feeling of the heart. And the heart feels what you want, what is there. The sadness, the celebration, the joy, the emptiness, the loneliness, whatever is there. The heart feels all of that. And then from the heart, let it go out in a breath. Perhaps in your meditation or yoga or exercise, you've learned the importance of the breath. And let it go out into the breath. As it does, your higher self, that part of you that is very clear, very understanding, will help you find the answer. Funny thing, Marianne, is that most of the time that answer is already there, but we get so busy, we get so caught up in the traffic of the day. When I say traffic, I mean the clutter, the sounds, the distress, the bills that are there, the communications that are there, or the meeting that we're going to attend. We get caught up in the clutter of the day and the clutter of the airways or the clutter of our breath. And when we breathe, it's cluttered with other things. So take time. Christmas Day, what a day to celebrate. What a day to be quiet and to be still. And we realize that there are many around us that celebrate in different ways. We share that. We are joyful in every form of celebration. We enjoy that, and we encourage every unique celebration, no matter what it looks like or what it feels like. It's a good thing when we celebrate. So take time today, Christmas Day. Take time today and many other days from now, and use the breath, the air that literally surrounds you. Feel it. Feel that air with gratitude, with love, with respect, with honor. Move some of the fatigue. You know, most of us are very fatigued right now. It's been one of the most trying years, and we're at that time where we're going to be facing more decisions, more challenges, whatever. Take today, be still, be quiet, and find your own special, unique way to celebrate. Breathe. Talk to your higher self, that part of you that has always been there with you. It's our consciousness. For us women, we are often told that we have woman's intuition, and I would have to agree with that, but I also would say that all of us have that intuition, which is another way to recognize that there is a higher self or a higher consciousness to who we are. Take time to connect to that source. It's a God source, just as you understand your God source. And what is right and appropriate for you is honorable. Enjoy that, celebrate that. But take time today to breathe the air that is around you and feel that air. Start with a thought in your head. Bring it down into your heart. Feel the gratitude or whatever the circumstances are. Feel that in your heart. Breathe it out into the air and let it go into your higher self, your consciousness, your God awareness. And from there, it goes to the God of your understanding. It goes to the universe. Be clear and be focused on the things that are important. It would not be a bad thing to write some of these down, just to be in gratitude. And for those of you that know me, know that I really love to teach people how to use their gratitude statements to work on their behalf. Begin your day in the morning with 7 statements of gratitude, 7 things that you're grateful for. End your day at the end of the day with 7 statements of gratitude, things that you are grateful for. I have actually had occasion to speak to people that's so unhappy and so sad that they believe they don't have anything to be grateful for. And so I just say, just start small. I'm grateful for the air I breathe, or I'm grateful for the bed that I sleep on, or I'm grateful for the food that I have. Start small. Interesting is that once you start moving into gratitude statements, the list starts getting much, much longer. But I've recently started teaching a new technique, and let me share this with you. Today, Christmas Day, it's a good day to teach this to you. So if you have some things that are important in your life, perhaps things that you're needing, a new job, a new car, a companion or something, get some sticky notes. We all know what sticky notes are, and most of us probably have some sitting around the house somewhere. So for let's say up to 7 things. 7 things that are important to you. Let's say that a job is one of the things, and that certainly is on the minds of a lot of people right now. Write down the word job on a sticky pad. And I want you to write these out, and then you're going to put them on a kitchen counter or a table that doesn't get disturbed. In other words, I want these sticky pads, sticky notes, to be on a surface that you're going to be in contact with off and on during the day. So, number one, it might be a job. Well, don't write exactly what the job is, but write a few notes on there. Just write the word job and then put a few things that matter, like the amount of money that would be helpful for you to have, or location, or the kind of environment. And then if it's a companion that you're looking for, just sort of draw a silhouette of a person and put companion on there, and write a few words that would describe the companion that you're looking for. Honest, integrity, financially sound, intelligent, whatever those are. Write those on there. And so go through a list. Health, what are the health, the main health issue that you have that needs improvement. You might put that on there, but just write good health. And so whatever the things are that you want, up to 7, it doesn't have to be 7, but up to that, on a sticky note, write that word down. And then I want you to take them to the kitchen counter, perhaps the dining room table, maybe the dresser in your bedroom, or the countertop in your bathroom. But all day long, as you go by where those sticky pads are, those sticky notes are, I want you to walk over and pat each sticky note and say, bring my blessing today. And say that from the energy in your heart. On the one that says health, tap it and say, bring my blessing today. It's something new, something different, but it's been amazing at what I've seen happening with it already. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your Christmas Day. Thank you for being the person that you are. And may all of the blessings that your heart speaks and the blessings that you are not even able to say, may all of those things be given unto you in the way that is the most suitable for your life, your home, your space, your environment, and the air that is around you. Air talk, meaning that breath, literally the breath of life, that breath that you speak from your heart, your mind, your heart, through your higher self, which is there, whether you know it or not, it is there. Your consciousness, your thought process, that part of you that is clear thinking, that is all-knowing, that doesn't judge, is very reasonable, very clear, very accurate. Send that energy out. And may I ask that as we are conscious of the air around us, as we are conscious of the space that we occupy, that we ask for peace and grace for our world, for our planet, and all of those of us that occupy space here. May each of us be blessed in extraordinary ways. May your heart be full. And may all of the things that are on your sticky note, may all of those blessings be given unto you. Marianne, thank you for giving me an opportunity to visit with you today. Thank you for allowing me to have air time with you once again. And thanks for all that you do for so many of us. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Judy. And where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about your work? Because I know you have this amazing audiobook that I'm a big fan of. Where can they find out more about your work?
Well, you can always visit the website, judygoodman.com. It's real easy to find. You know, Marianne, I'm so blessed because we've had about 1.5 million visitors that have visited the website, and the audiobook, as you mentioned, has been downloaded in 13 countries, probably more by now, but I've just not kept up with that, but we know for sure at least 13 countries anyway. So, if you allow me to be part of that breath, that air, that space that you occupied, then thank you. I'm in very much gratitude for that.
Well, thank you, Judy. We so appreciate you taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays. It's almost like I can hear bells jingling because I'm very much aware of the angel presence. And so I really am hearing a lot of little singing, a lot of jingle belling, little bells chiming. So happy holidays. God bless everyone.
Well, thank you so much, Judy. It's been such an honor to spend this time with you, and I so appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us. Again, if you'd like to connect with Judy, you can at judygoodman.com for more information. Her book, Journey, The Quest of the Soul, is an audiobook available at her website. Well, that's the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and wish you all the joy, peace, and happiness the holiday season has to offer. And remember, make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Moments with Marianne airs every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.